welcome back to my channel. I'm Danae. If you're new here, I'm still pretty new here, but if you have not seen my channel, any of my videos before, then I'm Danae. And in this video today, we're going to be going through the books I plan to read for the month of March. I am a huge planner, and so I plan out my reads every single month. I am not a mood reader. I think that if I was left to my own devices, especially given what my physical TBR looks like, I would be completely overwhelmed and confused to the point where I might either not read or I just wouldn't read as much because I would spend way too much time going through all my choices. So with that being said, I plan out to my reads every month, and so this is what I'm looking forward to for the month of March. So without further ado, let's get into the books. So we have Babel by R.F. Kuang. I am really looking forward to this. I was supposed to read this back in January, December, one of those months, and I just didn't make it. I ran out of time, and so I want to definitely make sure I get to it this month. This will be a priority read for me for the month of March. I'm not really even sure what this is about exactly. I cannot tell you what it's about, but what I do know is I've seen some of you guys' reviews, and if this book is going to have me like it had y'all in y'all reviews, sign me up immediately because I am really intrigued. I also do know that it is like dark academia, which I do have a little bit of an interest in trying out some more. And then I've also seen it described as a historical fantasy. I do love historical fiction, and I'm just now getting into the fantasy genre. Fourth Wing then was my first experience, and then I moved on with the entire Empyrean series. And so now I'm feeling a little bit more adventurous and wanting to try new things. And so because of everything I've heard about this one, I want to try this. And if I like it, then I also want to try the Poppy War trilogy, also by R.F. Kuang, because I've heard nothing but great things about that one as well. Then we have Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick. I read One Dark Window last month. A friend of mine absolutely raved about it, and she gifted it to me. And so I did enjoy it. I rated it a 4-star. And so unlike other fantasies that, are most of the ones that we hear about with, dragons and fairies and fays or vampires or something like that, this one, the magic comes via these magical cards. And so the cards give you magic and powers, whatnot. And so I thought that was kind of a unique and interesting take. I remember towards the end of One Dark Window, what was going on. I know Ione, and it was some weird stuff going on. And I'm like, okay, some people ain't right. People can't be trusted. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what Two Twisted Crowns is going to bring. And even my friend, as much as she loved One Dark Window, she said she enjoyed Two Twisted Crowns even more. So yeah, I'm ready for this one. Then we have another popular one here. We have Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. This is book 1. It's so far 3 books. Book 3 comes out March 4th, called Oathbound. I will not be ready for book 3 by the time it comes out because I'm just now starting with Legendborn. I'll probably do Bloodmarked in April because I also have that one as well, and then get to Oathbound probably in May. I've heard some people absolutely love Legendborn, but then I've heard some people didn't love it, but they love Bloodmarked. So I am interested to see. I would have loved to do this one as a buddy read, but the girls that I normally buddy read with, one of them is currently reading it now, and the other one already read it, but she absolutely loved it. So I'm on my own with this one, but I'll probably just annotate and take my time because I did hear this a little bit confusing, and so we'll see. Then I have Twisted by Emily McIntyre. This is book 4 in the Never After series. I have been loving this series. I've had this on my shelf for months, but I'm going through it pretty slowly because I'm doing one book each month, and so now it is time for Twisted's turns. If you're unfamiliar with the Never After series, it's like fractured, fairy tale retellings, and in her author's note she even says it's not necessarily a retelling, and it's not, but there's elements from certain fairy tales in each book. And so this one happens to be fractured Aladdin, which is, I love Aladdin, but I just have loved this entire series. Hook, Scarred, Wretched, they have all been hits for me. And I also think this series is great for someone wanting to get into dark romance. And that's how I was. I mean, this would be baby dark romance, intro to dark romance, step 1, level 1 dark romance. It's not very dark, which I think is good for me because now that I'm hearing more about like dark romance titles, I'm like, that might be a little much for me. Like no, it might be a little much for me, but this is just my speed because it has like those morally gray characters in there where you're like really questioning, like, is the villain really the villain? Or maybe the hero is the villain and the villain's not the villain. So I enjoy that, and I enjoy the way Emily wrote these books and how you're like finding out all the connections between the book and the fairy tale. So I'm very much so looking forward to this one, and I'm sure I'll like it just like the other three. Then we have another fan favorite, Heartless Hunter. A friend of mine read this and she raved about it, and we have similar tastes in books. So if she liked the lot, I'm sure I probably will as well. I know book 2 recently came out February 18th, Rebel Witch. Normally I have a habit of like buying series before even reading one, but for this one I decided to take it slow. So I am going to read Heartless Hunter first, and if I like it, I will go ahead and get Rebel Witch. Then we have probably one of the most popular ones, Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I'm looking forward to this one. I heard like the MMC is like a shadow daddy, which makes me think of Zayden, which I love me some Zayden. So I'm curious to see how this one is. I'm curious to see if it lives up to all the hype it's gotten. I have this in audiobook form as well, so I will be doing like an immersive read with this one. I'm also doing this as a buddy read with my same girls. It's a thick one. I'll probably have fun with this one and fun annotating and just, I'm really looking forward to this. Then we have Harlem Rhapsody. This is probably one of my most anticipated reads for March. This is a historical fiction title, and as the title suggests, this is like Harlem Renaissance era. The main female character in this is supposedly like said to have kind of like birthed the whole Harlem Renaissance era. I just love the Harlem Renaissance era. You have like the musicians, the artists, the writers, poets. And so she apparently birthed the whole Harlem Renaissance era. And our boy, W.E.B. Du Bois, makes some appearances in here. Apparently there was some affair action going on. And so it's some tea being spilled in this book. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I think this is going to be my first read for the month of March. So I'll probably be starting this, I guess, like March 1st. So there's that. And then the next book I don't have in my possession yet, but I will, and that is Wild Side by Elsie Silver. This is book 3 in the Rose Hill series. I read, of course, the other 2. And so as soon as this releases on March 4th, I will have that, and we'll be reading that for the month of March as well. And this next book here, I'll be reading on my Kindle. I have this as an ARC. It's called 1 in a Million by Beverly Kendall. The synopsis sounds pretty interesting to me, so I can't wait to read that and be able to really talk about it with you guys and give my official review on it. And then lastly, I don't have this physical book, and I'm not going to have it just yet. I will, but right now I don't have it. So I'm going to read it on Kindle Unlimited, and that is North King's Unexpected Inevitability. Is book 3 in the 3 Kings series by A.E. Valdez. A.E. Valdez is a new favorite author of mine. She's an indie author, but it's not just like favorite indie author. She is one of my favorite authors at this point. I have read so far 6 books of hers, 6 books of hers. And this one that I'm going to read this month is the 7th book. And so at this point, I've been through her entire catalog. I found her in November, and I've pretty much devoured it. Every single book that I have read has been a hit. I love the way she writes. She writes just beautiful, like soft romances, not like a bunch of extra toxic stuff, but they do have like some emotional depth to it, grief, healing, maybe some familial things, but I just absolutely love them. And I finished book 2, which is called Winter's Eve, Then, Now, and Always. I love that book so much. And so I am so excited to read book 3, but I'm kind of sad because once I finish that book, I'll have nothing else. That is her entire catalog. And since she just came out with book 3 on Valentine's Day, that means she's probably not coming out with another one for a while. So it's like I'm going to be going through withdrawals because I just absolutely love her work. But that is it. That is it for my March TBR, all the books I plan to read in the month of March. If you've read any of these, especially the fantasy ones, I'm excited but a little nervous at the same time. I hope I love them. If you read any of these, comment below and let me know what your thoughts were. And then, of course, as I always say, if you like this content, please like and or subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.